every day you wake up, you want to pre-establish the goal for your thinking. And when you pre-establish a goal for your thinking, then you're basically setting your intent on what thoughts you want to think in order to produce harmonious, high vibrational, healthy thoughts. Now, when you first wake up, you may have unintentional, unwanted, negative thoughts that's playing against your will. So what you want to do is you want to study your thinking about your thinking off and on all throughout the day, most consistent as possible. People that perform on a high level, or clever thinkers or clever performers, are people who are always self-analyzing in order to make sure they're having healthy thoughts or healthy emotions. And if they're not, they're always analyzing to see the root cause or the root issue. So you have what they call pattern interruption. So you want to interrupt certain negative patterns or negative thinking habits or negative emotional responses or reactions. Now, every person can either have a negative self-image or a positive self-image. You can either have a solution-based focus or a problem-based focus. Now, a person that is mentally dissatisfied with their self-image and they experience doubt, nervousness, anxiety, or just any negative emotions is only because they haven't learned to dwell on positivity more than negativity by consciously creating their reality. Now, you consciously create your reality by deciding what thoughts you want to think consistently all throughout the day. And that's when you establish a goal for your thinking. So self-analyzation is all about making sure that you're meeting your goal. And it's all about you making sure you intentionally generate the thoughts that you want to focus towards versus the thoughts you don't want to focus on. So in order for you to block out negativity or to avoid having a problem-based focus, you must consciously direct your thought focus and with your intentional thinking, because your conscious thinking is your intentional thinking. Your unconscious is your automatic negative unwanted thinking that is always attempting to interfere with your present moment experience. Now, when a person is fully present in the moment, they cannot experience no negative emotions. So negative emotions or negative thoughts is only when a person is expecting a negative future outcome, or they're living in the past and they're expecting a future to reflect a negative past event. Now, when a person is dealing with trust or dealing with harmony or dealing with confidence, that can only be experienced when a person is fully present in the moment. So all realities exist in the present moment. There's a different you that exists on multiple different vibrational levels and that exists in multiple different dimensions at once. So you can tap into a high vibrational version or aspect of yourself. So you want to make sure that you consciously dwell on positivity, solution-based thoughts, positive future outcomes, positive past memories or experiences. So make sure you study your thinking about your thinking consistently all throughout the day so you can make sure you're meeting the goal for your thinking. You must pre-establish what thoughts you want to think and pre-establish what emotions you want to feel or experience consistently throughout the day. Now, when a person determines early in the day what energy they want to bring to the day and what emotions they want to feel consistently throughout the day and consistently throughout their life, then that person is setting themselves up for success and not failure, because you're premeditating how you want to operate all throughout the day. So when a person has negative thoughts and they get caught within a recycling loop of negative past experiences or negative future expectations, then that person is, for one, not fully breathing correctly. They're not fully present in the moment, and they're allowing false or they're allowing their false identity to interfere with their true experience of their true self. So your true self is highly effective. Your true self is highly mentally brilliant and clever and genuine and authentic and ingenious. But when the world has a standard of who we should be and we attempt to live up to that standard, and when we don't meet that standard, or we can have anxiety or be worried about not meeting that standard, and that creates self-doubt. So self-doubt is only when a person is attempting to live up to other people's standards. But you must be you for you and never stop being you so other people can be them. but make sure you dwell on positivity. Make sure you dwell on solutions and you block out problems. Make sure that you focus on high vibrational concepts, ideas, and then you must go out your way to remind yourself every single morning, as soon as you wake up, and you want to dwell on this for an hour. All of your rare characteristics, all of the rare magical signs you have received in the past that reminds you of the magic of your brain, because your brain synchronization is going to manifest itself in the form of what you attract around you. So when you make sure you dwell on rare qualities that you possess, and you make sure you dwell on your rare way of thinking and positive past feedback, then you're training your mind to be wired and to have neural connections that's wired to basically reflect all of the great past experiences that you had. And you're training your mind and you're wiring your mind to reflect confidence. So you're going to create new neural connections by thinking new thoughts and doing new things and bringing a new energy to the day. You're going to create a new brain structure, which is neuroplasticity. Now, that's all based upon you thinking new thoughts. You thinking high vibrational thoughts. You dwelling on your positive past achievements and your rare qualities and your rare way of thinking consistently. And whatever you repeat consistently helps to create new neural pathways within the brain. Now, as you learn new things, you're gonna basically enhance your brain. So the brain is almost like a muscle. So you can basically expand your brain and make it even thicker based upon you learning new information, or you reading for a long period of time, or you just analyzing yourself for a long period of time. You're going to start to activate different DNA. Now, the old science says that our genetics determines our destiny. But the new science says that based upon your perception, your thoughts signals the genes, because whenever you're thinking, you're feeling, and whenever you're feeling, you're thinking. So if you want to change your life, you have to change your thinking to change your emotional habits. First, you must change your thinking habits. So research study shows that when you change your perception of yourself and you change your perception of reality, then you can signal your genes differently. And also, scientists speak about your body or your genetics or your genetic code or your genetic pattern or blueprint is perfect. Not only is it perfect, it's perfectly imperfect. So you can activate the negative aspect of your DNA, or you can activate the positive aspect. Now, when a person moves in their flow and they move with exactness or speed or accuracy or cleverness, it's because that person has activated a positive aspect of their DNA. It doesn't mean that they didn't have suicidal thoughts or negative thoughts or unhealthy habits, but it means that they learned to set their intent to become a new person. So you must be intentional about the person you want to become. So what is your future vision for yourself? Because the more and more you establish specific goals, then the more and more you wake up with more motivation. Now, when a person has no plan for tomorrow, then they wake up trying to put their finger on things and trying to figure out how should they go about their life. But when you systematically organize your thought process and you have a clear intention, or you set your intent and you establish your goal on how you want to think, how you want to operate, who you want to strive to be, what skills you want to strive to develop, then you're controlling your destiny. You're mastering your reality as well as mastering your perception of yourself by you controlling who you are. So remember this, when you allow yourself to make mistakes, you allow yourself to grow. From mistakes, you gain wisdom. So embrace all of your imperfections, because you are perfectly imperfect. So what that means is that everything is working in your favor. Everything is working out in your favor, I should say, even more effectively. So you have to know that things work out in your favor so much that things will work out in your favor to even not work out in your favor based upon what you believe to be true. So if you believe that you're this person that has these toxic ways, or you believe that another person's toxicity is the only problem, it's only because you're choosing to be criticizing their negativity without criticizing your negativity. So don't utilize another person's negative actions as a justifiable reason for you to respond negative. and never judge a person's actions without understanding their reasons. So you have to make sure you focus less on others and more on yourself. Research study shows that the more you focus on yourself, the more and more you increase and amplify your electromagnetic energy field. So focus less on others and focus more on yourself, and focus more on your vision. You can't control other people's perception of you, but you can influence it on a big level. So stop thinking small of yourself, because the world think big of you. So you have to believe so much in yourself, and you have to think so big of yourself that other people in the world think big of you just because of how much they see that you believe in you. So be confident in who you are and exude a high level of self-confidence by trusting in your thought process, trusting in your emotions, trusting in your behavioral expression. So always express your rare personality expression and know that you have a unique way of thinking. And when you trust in your thinking, and when you trust in your emotions, and when you trust in the outcome, and you trust in your movements, and you trust in your actions, then you generate a high level of confidence, because self-confidence is self-trust, and it's all about you trusting in you. So always make sure you focus towards the high vibrational thoughts that's going to direct you in the direction of a positive self-image and not a negative self-image. So if you want a healthy body, you must have healthy thoughts in order to produce healthy chemistry into your bloodstream. When you think positive, it releases dopamine and serotonin into your bloodstream, which produces feel-good emotions. And the more and more you are present in the moment and you focus towards positivity, then the more and more you can activate positive emotions, and you can start to over time create a new positive emotional habit, and you can interrupt the pattern of a negative emotional habit by you consciously redirecting your thought process. So make sure you narrow your thought focus towards solutions and block out unimportant conversations, details, people, or conversations. Make sure you study your thinking about your thinking second to second and moment to moment, and realize and remember, you can create yourself. Every new second is a new moment for you to experience a new version and a new aspect of you. So make sure you bring a high level of energy to the day, and realize that today is special because you are special. So you decide what makes one of the greatest moments in your life one of the greatest moments in your life. When you put on your shirt, you make the shirt the shirt. When you walk into the room, you make the room the room. Detox from anything low frequency. You don't supposed to settle for less. Never highlight someone else's characteristics and abilities over your characteristics and abilities. Never underestimate your self-value and overestimate someone else's self-worth or self-value. Know what you know and trust in what you know, and stop thinking small of yourself, because God is always sending people to give you multiple different perspectives about yourself so that you can have a wide range of compliments and viewpoints of yourself from an outside point of view and perspective. And this will help you start to see yourself from an outside point of view. So don't be in your own way and judge yourself more than other people are judging you. So make sure you direct your thought focus towards a high vibrational mental perception of yourself by consciously every day thinking certain particular thoughts that you pre-establish you pre-establish the thoughts you want to think. So make sure you have a solution-based focus and not a problem-based focus, because you are the master of every moment, and you are the master of your thinking. Or you can allow someone else's thinking to become your thinking. But remember this, someone else's thinking doesn't matter without you thinking about their thinking. Only your thoughts exist. And tap into the universal conscious, and you can pull in any reality or any outcome that you want to pull in based upon you perceiving yourself on a high vibrational level. So the universe is always bringing back forth experiences or situations that reflects how you perceive you. So how you perceive you will determine how everyone else perceives you, and it also will determine how things speak to you from your environment.